We'd like to welcome everyone to the CoreCommerce SEO Webinar. I'm Daniel Cox, Head of Customer Success at CoreCommerce. We're excited to have everyone join today. As we all know, the importance of SEO is at an all-time high, and we're thrilled to have Heather Johnson, our in-house SEO expert, present to us today. She's going to guide us through some of the critical aspects of maximizing SEO for all of our companies. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Heather.
Great. Thank you so much, Daniel. Hi, everyone. As Daniel has mentioned, I am the in-house SEO expert for CoreCommerce, and we wanted to do a quick webinar just to remind everyone what some key tips and tricks are for SEO when you are in e-commerce type industry. So as you may have heard, Google made a lot of things a lot more feasible for us here in the retail and e-commerce side of Google this year, trying to capitalize more on products, being able to scan through pages. And we thought it would be great just to send over a couple tips and tricks on different things that you can do to make sure that your website is set up for success and that you are ready to get in front of your customers during the 2023 year. So I am going to go through a couple different slides, talk a little bit more about some of the different 1, 2, 3 steps that you can do to evaluate your own website and see where you stand on everything, and some quick little tips on things that you as a business owner can do yourself to help increase your SEO. So I will be sharing my screen. And if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat and we can go from there. Daniel, will you enable the screen sharing for me, please?
Sure, absolutely. All right, it should have you access now.
I got it. Thanks so much. All right, guys. So again, this is going to be a quick, probably about 20 minutes where we're going to talk a little bit more about what your first steps are with your SEO, with your business, to kind of give you some tips and tricks again that you can do yourself. So looking through, just to kind of go over, what is SEO? Well, SEO is obviously search engine optimization, and very easily put, it helps get people in front of the products and the items that you already sell on your site. So the one thing that you can do, there's a lot of different things that SEO is good for. When done correctly, you can get more qualified people to your site. You can get more actual traffic to your site as a whole, but you also are able to make sure that Google recognizes you as a business. And we'll talk a little bit more about authority score and how you can increase that on your own a little later. But if you have any questions here, shoot them over in the chat and we'll have a nice little question and answer session as we go along. So just to kind of cover a couple different steps to talk about, like, how do you troubleshoot your own SEO? So there are about 5 tips of reasons that you may not be ranking. And we'll go through each one of those kind of in detail on some further slides. But the first one is, you haven't told Google you are a business. Now, you may think, okay, I've got my website, I need to get all my products in, and once my website is live and I'm able to have people purchase, I'm ready to go and they'll be able to find me on Google. Well, that takes time. There are a couple different things that you can do that will help you be able to be recognized by Google more quickly, whether you are a nationwide business or somebody that's only operating locally for certain products and services. The other thing that may happen is your site is poorly optimized for search engines. Now, I know that sounds like something that can be very difficult to maneuver and figure out how best to optimize, but don't worry, we're going to give you all those tools and all the different steps to take to be able to make sure that you're optimized. The other thing would be you are utilizing competitive keyword phrases. So think in mind of, let's say you've got customers that you want to bring to your brand new engagement ring line that you have in stock. So a highly competitive keyword phrase would be jewelry store. Well, what we want to focus on is we want to focus on keywords that get people a little further along in the buying process. If you rank really well for jewelry store, you may not rank very well as far as any of your other what we call long tail keywords that actually get people that are further along in the buying process. So think about a young man that is wanting to propose to his significant other, and he's looking for the perfect ring. He already knows kind of what style that she's looking for. This is somebody that is already a little more invested in the buying process. He's already done his research. He knows what his fiance is looking for, and she wants a white gold princess cut diamond. So these are examples of long tail keywords. So looking at a white gold princess cut diamond, while we have significantly less searches each month for that keyword, we have a significantly higher chance of converting to a sale, because we are now getting in front of people that already know that they're looking for this white gold princess cut diamond instead of somebody that doesn't really know what they want. We want to make sure that we're getting right in front of people and that we're making it very, very easy to see that we have what they're looking for. So when we're talking about these different keyword phrases, here's another thing that we want to bring up. Think about your product descriptions. You don't want to just talk about, exactly what this product is. You want to make sure that you've got a nice couple lines of text underneath describing the ring. So think about all the different things that you could say about this white gold princess cut diamond. And think about when you're trying to explain how it is, think about, you could say Nashville's leading jewelry company. You've got all these different keywords that you can implement within this paragraph that makes it very organic and sounds like a salesman that's actually describing the ring. These are great ways to get a couple different keywords within your different product descriptions. And then the fifth and final thing that we'll cover, kind of going through the different slides and going through a little demo later on, is you are not keeping up with the Joneses. Keeping an eye on your competition is crucial for SEO. You want to know what your competitors are doing just as much online as you want to know what sales they're running or what inventory they have on site. So taking a look at your competitors' websites with some point of regularity will really, really help your SEO, especially if they are ranking a little higher than you are. So the first thing we come to is we're talking about letting Google know that you are a business. So even if you are a nationwide company, the one thing you always want to make sure that you set up is a Google My Business. Now, you may do that based on having to send a postcard out to a home address, for example. Maybe your business has a large warehouse and you don't want customers going straight to your business. Well, that's fine. You are able to get Google to send the postcard and be verified, but you are also able to hide that address on your actual listing. So being able to have your Google My Business listing listed on the web and recognized by Google is one of the very first steps that you want to take. It helps you show up, number one, for people that are closer to you in a couple different areas, but it also helps establish Google and helps you start ranking for keywords very, very quickly. So we've got a couple little tidbits of traffic here that we want to make sure that we bring to your attention. So right now, 52% of all website traffic worldwide comes from your mobile phone. So one thing that you want to think about is don't just look at your website on your desktop or your laptop. Pick up your phone, see how your website reacts on your mobile phone, and make sure that you're able to be in front of everybody in the best light possible. Make sure it's very easy for your menu to open up for people to find the products that they're searching for. The other tidbit that we want to share with you is 33.3% of all mobile queries are location-based queries. So this is what makes Google My Business even more important, is you want to make sure that you're showing up for these near me searches or for location-based searches. That way, if people are looking for, a jewelry store in Nashville, you are able to show up for that and be in front of people. And it helps you rank a little bit higher for some of your competitors. And this becomes a very, very crucial part of SEO. And the biggest thing to think about is 88% of consumer local business searches on a mobile device will either call or visit your business within 24 hours. So if you have a brick and mortar store, this is extremely important to you. But it also means, and brings up a very good point, you have to make sure that your website phone number is working. You have to make sure that you're testing it every so often, especially if you have any kind of a vanity number or any kind of a tracking phone number in place to track some of your marketing efforts. So make sure you do regular calls on some of your tracking phone numbers and make sure that your business phone is always in service, whether you are rerouting your calls to maybe a salesperson or a front office person. Keep track of your numbers and make sure you're testing them regularly. So the next slide talks about organic SEO. And we're talking more about what is the difference between building your SEO organically versus using paid advertising. Well, with these different jewelers, this is a very good point, is if you can rank your website organically for Nashville, Tennessee jewelry stores, this is how you're able to get in front of some of your competition. If you noticed on the last slide, we were searching for Nashville jewelry stores and we wound up with some nationwide brands. So like we had Kendra Scott on there, we had Shane Company on there. And then when we're looking here, this is the first page of the search results. And right up there at the very top is King Jewelers and then Genesis Diamonds. So these are some ways that you really want to focus on. If you're having a very strong organic presence, people can see you a little bit higher than your competitors. So it's not always such a David and Goliath situation. So we'll cover a few more of these things that are on the top ranking factors, but your links, your content, and your rank brain. So user experience, we mentioned, get on your website, look at it on a phone, make sure that your users are able to find everything very quickly and easily on your site. That is what we're talking about with Rank Brain, but we'll talk more about links, and we've covered content already on some future slides. And feel free, again, if you have any questions, pop them over in the chat. One of the things that we always talk about is 75% of users never make it past the first page of search results. So this is an odd little joke in the SEO community, but where's the best place to hide a dead body? It's on the second page of Google. So the big thing to think about is you may rank very well. You may be in the 20th search result, but you want to continue growing. If you have a new competitor come into your industry and they start pushing you down on search engines, that's why SEO has to be maintained and cannot be a one-stop shop. You've got to keep it going and keep it relevant to Google. So make sure that whatever you initiate as far as an SEO plan is something that you can keep up with some form of regularity. So another big thing that we talk about, and we'll talk about links, this kind of encompasses links and link building as well, but what is a DA and what does it mean? So your DA is your domain authority. You can kind of think of this as a credit score that Google gives you. And each one of the ones below, so this is your referring domain. So this is all of your different credit accounts, right? So Google tracks and it looks through and says, okay, what domain authority does this website have? And how many people are referring it? So you can think about it very easily. If you're in a business that's got a lot of word of mouth, I know some of our customers, they've been around for dozens of years, and a lot of their business comes from word of mouth and client referrals. This will make it a very easy concept to grasp if you think about it like a client referral. So let's say we go to look for a mechanic because our transmission went out. And we have two people have told you that two different places are the best in town. So this is where your domain authority comes into play. So think about, we are the person looking for the transmission work to be done on our site. We are Google trying to figure out who the best search result would be for this particular query. So you think about one of these people is a car lot that knows a lot about cars, and they are referring this one site. The other is a friend of a friend that has used this company once and they liked their experience. So your referring domain is going to be the two people in question. And then our search results are obviously the one that we're trying to figure out and get our domain authority at. So it's very, very important. Think about how do you get referring domains to your site? This is when any company will reach out and they post a link that links back to your site. So think about people that have press releases, maybe a company that does a lot on social media and they link back to your site quite a bit. Maybe it's blog writers that are maybe a counterpart within your industry. So going back to our jewelry company, maybe these are manufacturers that are saying you can buy this ring at this location nearby. So they can also link to your site. So you can think about different manufacturers that can also provide a little bit of authority to your website with Google. So moving on, there's another way that you can get links on your site. And we talked about this for just a second on the last slide, but guest blogging. And why do you do it? So basically, guest blogging is the same mindset as far as link building, where you are taking a website and you're referring that website from another source. And now we're adding in another mix. We're adding in keywords. So that's what makes guest blogging very, very impactful. Is no longer is it just a manufacturer that says, hey, you can buy this ring here at this location. We are now having this manufacturer that says you can buy this ring, but you also can buy a square cut yellow gold or rose gold diamond ring at this location. So they're inputting keywords that are also helping to refer this client straight to your website. So we're talking again about the mechanic and about the transmission. So one person knows about cars and even had this mechanic fix a car that had a transmission go out before. Well, we're also looking at this other person and they just liked the shop because they were very nice to them and they changed her brake pads for her. Well, who is more qualified to refer this person to the company for the problem? It's probably going to be the guy that already had his transmission go out and it was replaced by this company. So he's got a little bit more knowledge and is a little bit more in line with your search queue. So again, the guest blogging allows you to optimize for keywords that help you drive people to your website that are already searching for a specific need. The other thing that they can do is they can come through these websites organically and find out about you. You can think about a couple of different times you've been on a website. Maybe it's a travel blog. And within these travel blogs, you can see that somebody posted about maybe the top 10 resorts to stay at in Hawaii. And you can guarantee that each one of these resorts have a link back to their website. So these are just some examples of guest blogging and how you can get in front of some people and raise your authority at the same time with Google. So now that we are about 20 minutes in, I want to make sure that we've got time for any questions, but just to kind of summarize everything that we're talking about, I want to do a quick little demo of what we are looking at as far as when you are using one of our CoreCommerce sites and you are looking at where do you need to input your inventory and what all needs to be included. So Daniel, do we have time for a quick demo on the best SEO practices for inventory management?
Yeah, we should be good on time.
Okay, perfect. So when you are going through your inventory, and let's say that we are focusing on adding in a new inventory item. So we're looking at our different products and we go ahead and click on Manage Product. And we've got a test product already ready. Thank you, Daniel, for getting this together for me. So when we're looking at editing the product, let's go ahead and see what all options we have from an SEO standpoint.
I'm not sure we're seeing the screen. It looks like it still has a slideshow up.
Oh, it says I'm paused. Let me figure out why that is. Thank you, Daniel. All right, are we able to see the screen now?
Yes, much better.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so when we're looking at our product and we're looking at editing it and how we're looking at different things that we can go into. So obviously we've got our product name and let's just go for, okay, let's go ahead and talk about our white gold. We'll do pear-shaped diamond this time just to give a little bit of variety here. So when you look at adding in your inventory, obviously you've got your UPCs, your SKUs, maybe even an alternative SKU. When you're looking at the back end of our website and you're looking at managing your inventory, the big thing that you want to think about is treat management of your inventory and inputting a new product. Treat it almost like they taught you how to fill out an application way back when you were in school. You want to make sure that any field that is able to be filled out has some kind of information in it. That will allow you to make sure that you always have everything from an SEO standpoint filled out. So when you're thinking about it, we've got our brand. I'm going to call it Genesis, even though that is not a ring brand, but we're going to call it the Genesis brand. We've got our price, we've got our MSRP. Remember, it's always really nice to see the MSRP so they know what kind of value you're getting. But as you're going through here, you want to pick your category. So you want to make sure that you've got your category in place. And don't just skip over different things that you think may not be necessary. Remember, categories are a very big part of being able to show up in more general searches organically, but you want to make sure that all of this information is here for the search engines to be able to crawl and be able to see. And then with your description, you want to make sure that you have a nice long description in that talks about the ring in detail and tells you a little bit more about what the ring offers. So this is probably one of the most crucial points in the back end that you want to make sure that you have. And then again, we've got our marketing ATL or HTML. And then you look at your search terms. This is another box that is amazing with our platform, is you're able to put in different search terms that you want to show up for. So maybe it's engagement ring. Maybe it's also anniversary presents. And think outside the box. Think about different things that you could do and think about different ways that that people would be using your product and put these search terms in. These are great boxes that we provide for you that are able to get in front of people a little more easily without having it show up on your site. So make sure you've got some keywords right there in your search terms, but then you also want to make sure that you've got all your search tags are listed out. And if you have any questions on all that, we'll make sure that you can hop on a call with me. I'd be happy to guide it over with you. Everybody that is on this webinar, remember this is part 1 of 2. Everybody that's on the webinar, feel free to email SEO@CoreCommerce.com. You will receive a complimentary website audit with us, as well as a complimentary consultation call. So this would be a great place for you to be able to have different questions ready that are specific to your website and how your website is set up. At this point, I want to make sure that we've got time for any questions. Daniel, did we have any questions from anybody online?
Let me check really fast. I do not believe so. Not that I can see. No, nothing yet.
Okay, great. Well, thank you all so much for your time today. If you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to us. Our email is SEO@CoreCommerce.com. And then Daniel will help us get everybody implemented and into the system to schedule your free audit and consultation call. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.